Hello, it's Dawn McPhee here from Dawn's Inspirations. I did a Crafter's Companion demo day over at the Crafter's Companion Chesterfield Store in Dobby's Garden Centre the other day, and we were looking at the Reindeer collection, and I shared this card with the ladies and how to do these lovely folds. And this is a great card to post flat if you don't use the lovely luxurious ribbon that's in the collection, but I'll show you a little trick on that. And they asked if I'd do a quick video just to recap how it's done, so that's what I'm doing here today. So what you're going to need is a card base. I've done a card base here of 5 3/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, so you've got a nice square, and you can do that out of your Crafter's Companion craft card in A4. The next mat I've got here is using the mirror card, the 12-inch mirror card that comes in the collection as well, and I've cut myself a base of 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches, so that's going to go on top of there. And then I've cut myself another piece of craft card at 5 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and that's going to be the mat that goes on the top. But before we stick all this down, I want to die cut my reindeer out, and because I'm going to cover this up, I'm going to use my reindeer. So this is the winter stag. Okay, so this is where, if you're using your mirror card for any match, you can either gut it to save some of your paper, or if you're wanting accent items on your cards, this is where I would stick my like I want the stag, so I'm going to die cut that out. Or if you were die cutting a sentiment, this is then what I would do. So I'm just going to pass that through my machine, and then we'll get on with the folding. So I'm just going to pop that through my Gemini. So you might hear that whirring in the background, I do apologise. So the next thing you're going to need is a piece of that beautiful pattern paper from your reindeer collection. Okay, now I picked the piece with the tartan on because I think that looks quite nice, and I've used it here as well. And I actually, when I was demoing, I showed another one in the red. So the 12 by 12 paper is absolutely perfect for this. Okay, so it just gives you different colourways. So let me just grab my stag that I've die cut out, so I've got all that ready. There we go. So he's die cut out beautifully in one pass. Okay, so I've got him ready. I'll pop him to one side. Okay, put him back on there so I know where he is. So I've got my mats ready to go. So you've got your piece of paper that is 12 inches across. Now I've cut mine at 5 1/4, and the reason I've cut it at 5 1/4 is it's the exact height I need for my card. You don't have to have it the exact height for your card, but I do think it looks nice. The trouble with this lovely cards, these lovely pattern papers, is they're nice on each side, so it is hard to choose which one you're going to do, but it's well worth it, trust me. So let's bring our scoreboard in. Okay, and we're going to be scoring in inches. All right, in fact I'm going to bring my big scoreboard in, not my little one, because we're using a 12-inch across piece of paper. So let's bring my big one in. There you go. So sorry, it's a slight jaunty angle because it won't fit on my desk with my tummy, so it's here. So I've got my scoreboard, and what you're going to do is you're going to start at scoring, and let's start this way around. No, let's go this way around, doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what side you score this, because when we start folding it, you can choose which side you want to do. So your first score line is going to be 2 inches. Then you're going to do 1 inch, and then you're going to do 2 inches, and then you're going to do 1 inch, and then you're going to do 2 inches, and then you're going to do 1 inch, and then that's where I would leave that bit at the end. So basically you've done a 2 inch score, a 1 inch score, a 2 inch score, a 1 inch score, a 2 inch score, a 1 inch score. Okay, so it's really easy. I'm not going to tell you the numbers, but basically remember 2, 1, 2, 1. All right, and then we can start folding. And this is where, with folding it, you can choose which way round you're going to have your pattern showing. So we're basically doing a concertina, okay? And that's, you know, having this 12-inch paper is absolutely brilliant for this card technique, because you can't really do it with your 6x6, not very easily. So you'll see you've got that concertina showing with that lovely tartan, and I'm just going to give those a little burnish. And the way I'm going to start is, that's going to be my small end and that's going to be my big end. Okay, or this is going to go on there, so this is going to be the small end and that's going to be the big end. So I'm round the right way, so I'm just going to burnish those score marks, and I will turn over and do the same on the back. Now you just need to open it up flat, because you're going to do a score line about 1 inch down. Don't be too precise about this. I'm just going to go to this first white line that goes across, and you're going to do a diagonal from there all the way down to this last score line. Okay, so I'm going to get my paper trimmer, and we're going to pop that in. So that's going to go from that line there, and I'm going to twizzle it under here, because it's going from that line there right down to this last score line. So if I lay that, put my trimmer down, there we go. So we're going, I'm going to slide that in slightly, so we've gone from the top right about 1 inch down to the bottom, the last score line on the left. Okay, I've got that all in camera shot, and you're just going to cut that diagonal. When you're cutting paper as a diagonal, sometimes it can tear the end. Pop your blade in the middle and start and go up and down, then you won't get that tear. Don't throw this away, because this can be kept. I will share with you afterwards. So that is then what you're going to have. All right, so if you think about it, we had our 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 big piece, and you're just going to fold these over, but you're going to turn it to pop it on to our card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with my tape pen, and I'm putting a little bit of tape just after each score line, so I can fold that one back, and I can fold that one back, and I can fold that one back. And then what you could do is you could just put a little piece under there just to hold that in place. So can you see you've got your lovely sort of trail hanging. Now don't be too hung up about these flaps, because once we stick it down on the card you won't see them. But if it really bothers you, just go with your tape pen and put a little bit down. Okay, all right, so that is our sort of fold. So now we're going to stick this onto our card, and you will have a piece overlapping. So I'm just going in with my tape pen, and do not forget your flicks. A piece going along the top, and you're going to fit it right up in the corner. And this is where it's quite good with the tape pen, because if you haven't quite got it straight, you can. But it's a really quick card to do, but it looks really effective for anybody receiving in the post, because it looks like you've done a lot of work on this, but it's nice and flat for postage. So we've got our nice waterfall. As you turn it over, you can see you've got a strip. So just go in with your scissors and cut that strip off. But don't get rid of it, because we can use that. Okay, so that is our effect done. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to construct the card. And this is where you can add ribbon. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And I will share. So let's go on with our nice mirror. I'm just going around the edges and just attaching that to our card, just making sure I've got enough, that nice gap all the way around, so you've got that nice mat. If you've got the matting and layering dies, even better, because you can do this with your matting and layering dies, but I don't, so I'm just going in with sticking it down as I want. So there we go, that's all down. Okay, that looks nice on its own like that, doesn't it, with the stack there. And then on with our top piece. Now if you were adding ribbon, this is where at this stage I would wrap my ribbon round like I did with this one here. But however, that is quite bulky when you want to post. That will not go through your flat letter. You'd have to pay for a large letter. So now we're sticking the next stage on. So got that? No, and it needs to come over just a little bit. There we go, that's down. Now I said if you didn't want to add ribbon, you know that strip we cut off, we can use that. And what I've also done is I've cut a strip of the mirror as well, so we can add like a 2-layered effect. Okay, so I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. So basically what you're wanting is you're wanting it that 5 1/4 measurement. I'm going to take a little bit more off my mirror. I could have made it a bit wider, but I didn't. I'm going to have it on the top. That's not very straight. No, I think that's okay. Right. So that can go on the top of there. Okay, so tape pen down there. I'm going to stick that in the middle of there. That's it. So this is quite an alternative to adding ribbon if you want things flat, and I'm just going to trim a little piece off there. Can you see? So I've got a little gap top and bottom. That can now be added to my card as well. So this is going to be nice and flat for postage. If you're not posting, go to town and add your ribbon. Really good. And then I've got my my stag. And then what I've done is I've die cut another one out in black, so I can just do a slight drop shadow to make him stand out and make him look 3D again. So I'm just going to glue him on with a little bit of tacky glue. So on with a little bit of tacky glue. Now as for sentiments, this card would work really well as a winter birthday card or a male birthday card, I think any time of year, as well as Christmas. So don't just think of this as Christmas, because this could be an all-rounder. And the technique I've shown you with the folding, which isn't new, you may have seen it out on the internet or Pinterest, it's nothing new, okay, but it just gives an alternative to making a flat card look more interesting, and that's what we want. So I'm now popping a bit of glue on both of these. So I'm going to pop my stag down there. Actually, before I put my stag down, let me just share with you. So that is your card, but you could also turn it that way and have your stag, if I move my hands, that way round. It looks just as good, doesn't it? But I'm going to put him this way round like I've done the others. Okay, so he will stick on there. And then the only thing that I haven't done is my sentiment, and this is where I'm not going to put a sentiment on, because it's your choice whether you wish to choose it as a birthday card or a Christmas card. The choice is yours, but you can see with the reindeer collection, by having it in those different colour tartans, how so different it can look. You've got lots of different colour combinations going on there, and I just think that looks absolutely amazing as a male birthday card, as a Christmas card, anything you like. So I've used the stamps and embossed with the embossing powder that comes in the reindeer collection on my sentiment, but you could put a stamped sentiment up the side here, you could put little gems, you could put flat pearls as well. So, or if you use like your liquid pearls like these ones, these will go on, so you can have them flatter so they won't stick up. So if I just put, say, 3 pearls here, these will self-level and flatten out, so that will still go through flat for posting, and that's just using a pearl pen. So it's just different ways, different colorways, same card, but again keeping that nice and flat for postage, which I know a lot of us are very conscious of, particularly at Christmas time. So I'm Dawn McPhee from Dawn's Inspirations. This was a card I did at the Crafters Companion Demo Day at the Chesterfield Store. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel or Facebook page, please do. Please go over and press like, because there's always lots going on there, and the Dawn's Inspirations page is where all my craftiness goes on. Now you may ask quickly, what are you going to do with that piece you've got left? Well, you could use that as well and make a nice, that will go in as a nice 4-inch card. See, you've got a twofer, you've got another one there. You could quite easily turn it the other way. There we go, let's get that right. You could quite easily turn it the other way and have it with the floral showing and have it as a ladies card. So the choice is yours. So even this little strip is not going to get wasted whatsoever. That is another card waiting to be created. So I'm Dawn McPhee. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon at another demo day over on the Chesterfield store. Bye for now.